Well, here we are. We are so delighted to have each of you here. Blessings, lots of love, heart hugs to each of you. You know, we're all dealing with stuff. It's today, it's Thursday, July 21st, 2022. We have an incredible program today. Michelle McGlade and I have been talking about this for months. I think we've been dreaming about it all of our lives, preparing a beautiful space for each of you. So we're so glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time out of your schedule to be with us today. So we have got a wonderful program because we're talking about powerfully choosing what's next for you. And Michelle, you're going to prepare and talk with us about this program. You know, the curiosity I also have is, how do we powerfully prepare for what's next for us when we're dealing with life in the moment?
Ooh,
anybody relate to what I'm saying? You know, life's in session, right? You know, that's my middle name. I always say that, life's in session. So yeah.
I think we will have some tactics around that as well.
Beautifully, beautiful, good. Everybody, the Michelle's audio is good. You can hear Michelle. Give me a little thumbs up. Great.
Oh, excellent. Yes.
Oh, good. So let me go in and I just want to share a couple slides where we kick off our program today. You know, we value you, each of you, we value your time. So we want to make this a very powerful and useful program today. So our theme is powerfully choosing what's next for you in a sea of opportunities. So be sure to put in the chat, you know, your LinkedIn information so we can all stay connected to each other and get connected. And of course, I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Networks, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. So delightful to be here. So grateful. You'll never know, honestly, what this group and what you mean to me. It's an important part of my life. So thank you. Yeah, I love showcasing, highlighting, promoting, and serving you, and I get served in the process. And so I'd love to just do a couple quick shout outs before we introduce Michelle. Whoa, we had an incredible program with Sherry James. This was 2 weeks ago, Becoming Independently Mentally Wealthy. It was a powerful program. And I think, Carol, you were there. Trying to think of who else may have been there. It was super. It's on our YouTube channel. You can watch the replay. Let me just say, Sherry was on her game, ladies. She was on her game.
I've had a chance to meet Sherry in person because she's in this market where I am. And I just wanted to give a shout out. I mean, her energy and her presence, I wasn't able to make it and I was really bummed about it, but I have no doubt that that's something to go back and watch the replay.
Excellent, Michelle. Big shout out. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, she's a special person, like all of our esteemed faculty members are. So yeah, big shout out to Sherry James on that program. It was really good. And then 2 weeks before that, Kathy Dirksen talking about the 3 key steps to reignite your life. You know, we've got all these good ideas around how to be the best coach, consultant, trusted advisor, thought leader you can be. Kathy Dirksen's program was phenomenal. She presented the SNAP formula. Cindy, I think you were there. LaTanya, were you there? Carol was there. It was super good. SNAP.
Are you talking about with Kathy on this particular program with Kathy Dirksen?
Yes, exactly. Just wondering if you were.
I was on that.
Yeah.
I don't think I was on that.
Yeah, really good.
I'm looking at my notes. I don't know what the date was. I don't know. I mean, I remember SNAP. Do you remember what it stood for?
I knew you're going to ask me that, so I'm going to keep moving through our program. We got to watch the replay.
I was just thinking all the reasons to watch the replay.
You know, I set myself up for this. I set myself up.
Hey,
another good reason to get on our YouTube channel and watch the replay.
Yes.
Kathy's everywhere, so I always forget when I see her stuff and when not, because I see her all over LinkedIn too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, Bundle Your Brilliance, a fabulous program with Nancy Geary. how to turn your expertise into high profit online programs, a super good program. And then finally, Linda Conyard talked about connecting to your power as a coach, as a consultant, trusted advisor, and thought leader. Great program as well. So pivoting to our topic today, we're all dealing with this, like we're dealing with today, but then also wondering what's the world going to be like in another 3, 6, 12 months, another year, 18 months. What does the future look like? And Bloomberg has got a great article that I highly recommend that you download, talks about what the status is of the workforce. And LaTanya, I know this is right in your bailiwick, lady. Women are dealing with a lot of things. As we know, we're all dealing with the household situations, kids with COVID, partners with COVID, parents, ourselves, all kinds of things. Our workplace is changing, our lives are changing, and so things are in a flux. And then, of course, Harvard Business Review did an incredible article on why women can't go back to the way things were. So we can do a couple things. We can put our head in the sand. We don't want to do that. Or with our Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, we are the lighthouse for people in a world that's in tumultuous times. So with that, we've got to learn more so we can be more, have more, do more, and enjoy more. I just said all that without notes. How about that? Yes. And because this is such an important and timely topic, I get the great privilege to introduce Michelle McGlade. Michelle McGlade is an esteemed faculty member in the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. She is president and founder of her own company, International. She's a coach, consultant. She has had a podcast. She's an author. She has campfire conversations for executive women and women leaders. The woman does it all. So there's not a person on the planet that's better qualified. She's done the research, ladies, to tell us how we can move forward and ways that we can stop holding ourselves back. So with that, I'd like to turn the podium over to you, Michelle. Thank you. Let's take ourselves off mute and give a round of applause to Michelle McGlade.
Oh, thank you so much. I was just telling Kathleen that this is one of my this is just what I love to do. I love to serve women. And I'm already getting teary-eyed. This is just how it is. If you hang out with me, I'll either make you cry or you'll get me teary-eyed, which is a good thing. Yes. So I thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for those individuals who take the time to watch the replay, because I think this is the critical topic. And I did not try to be fancy in the marketing in any way. I literally have just been listening to the women who I'm around. And specifically in the last probably 4 to 8 weeks, I would say I've been out listening to women in person. I've been in the Denver market. I was just down in Austin. I live in the Dallas market. Of course, I'm connecting with women all over the globe. And there is a theme. It's like I'm getting chills just saying this. The theme is I'm in transition. There is a transition happening in my company. There's a transition happening on my team. People are leaving. We're restructuring. I'm restructuring. There's a transition happening in my family. We're moving across the country. And I'm looking to feel and lean into a space of transformation. That's the other word I keep hearing. So it's like transition and then transformation. And it's consistent no matter who I talk to, the CEO of their own company, coaches and consultants in this community, women on the rise to corporate boards. It's very consistent. So if you're feeling that way, 1, you are not alone. And 2, you are in the exact right place, because it is not lost on me at all that Kathleen and I had been talking about this time together months ago, titled "What's Next for Me?" It's almost like a universal, like, right now, right? And I see Cindy nodding her head. So here's how we're going to roll together. We've got about 30 minutes, and this is not about information. If you hang out with me, my clients, my style is not about layering in more and more and more information. It's really about helping you lean into your own transformation. And so this is about time for you and space for you. I'm going to bring you through research that I've been doing with high performing women like you and me over the last several years and talk about the ways that we hide and hold ourselves back. I'm just going to give you a blush at that so you can use that information and lean into your transformation. And then I'm going to walk you through a process, a thought exercise. Like a lot of my clients call me their thinking partner. So I'm going to bring you through a thinking exercise and help you create space for yourself to see what can come in so that by the time we're wrapping up today, and for those listening to the replay, follow the process for yourself as well, but that you're going to walk away with a next step, with one next step, or where you need to lean into more clarity. Does that sound good? Does that sound like exactly what you would love? I said, yes. Cindy's like,
love
yeah.
it.
Wave at me, give me smiles,
Yes.
show me eyes. Okay, that helps me a lot. I'm very visual.
And
Okay.
how about a little taking ourself off mute and just a little yes, 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 or
Yes,
yes.
Yes,
Woo!
yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'll
Thank
share
you.
a little bit about the research and then I'll walk you through. So what you're going to need to make this effective for yourself is a clean piece of paper and a pen. So if you don't have that in front of you, grab it now. And Carol, I know I can't see you, but I know you're listening and leaning in. So just make sure you've got that notebook, piece of paper, a clean sheet, a pen. And here's what I need you to do as you're getting your piece of paper. You've got one clean sheet. Just put the numbers 1 through 5 and just give a little space in between, right? So you can follow along. Perfect. I see you've got it, Carol. Excellent. Okay, we're going to start with number 1. We're going to start with number 1, the research. I'm just thinking about this. Before we do that, if you'll just go with me on this, I think this is going to be a useful exercise because are you guys like me? You just come from somewhere else. We're all up here, right? And I think Kathleen said something about how do we get ourselves into the spaciousness? So let's do something together around that. It will be good for you to bring yourself here into the moment. It's something you can use before a client meeting, while you're in the car getting ready to go into a big networking or speaking opportunity. And it's definitely something that's going to be valuable for us as a group to center ourselves together. Yeah, let's take the time for that. I think it would be really valuable. So I'm not going to teach you how to breathe because you do that every day. And yet I would like to teach you how I teach my clients to breathe that they tell me is very powerful for them. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit different than what you do. And so I want you to lean into that process. So, I like to close my eyes. Like I'm a visual person. I get visually distracted. If that's not you, maybe you just look down at your paper, your blank paper, you just look off to a spot on the wall. And we're going to do 3 breaths. And, you're just let it happen naturally for this moment. But, on your next breath, what I want you to do is count into 6 and then count out to 6. So it's going to be much slower and deeper than you're used to. So just do that now and do it, on your own. You're counting in 1, 2, 3, and you're going to feel the air and let your belly swell up a little bit. Now, this is just the opposite of what every woman wants. So I just, I understand that. So just let the air come in and then out, 2, 3, 4, and you're just counting it to yourself. And then try it again. Try again to count into 6. Just listen to my voice, silently counting to yourself. And as your belly swells up a little bit uncomfortably, see if you can push the air down to your sit bones, like those little bones you're sitting on, your butt bones. And then you let the air come out really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we might be all over the place. Let's sync up on the last one together. I'll count it out for us. So you're going to do an inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My cat loves this exercise too, as you may have heard, and you just want to sit with yourself for a moment and then come back to us when you're ready. I'll know you're ready because you'll open your eyes. You'll be looking at me. You'll be smiling maybe slightly because you just can't help it. Okay. And just give me a little wave if that felt good and a little bit different in a good way. Yeah, as you're coming back into the room. Excellent. Yeah. So simple. Not always easy, but so simple. And I see you, Carol. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's lean into the research. Let me share with you what I've learned from other amazing women just like you and me, because I was really curious. What I was curious about is, why am I reaching a certain level of success and then not able to break through my own self-imposed ceiling? Why is it that I can read the books of gurus, right? In that personal development space, the mindset, the imposter syndrome space? Why can I read the book, but not make the change? Why can I hire the coach, but not necessarily move to where I want to be next? Has that ever happened to you? Or have you ever asked yourself that question? You get really expansive, right? Like those weekend workshops, you get really expansive, you get really inspired, but why do you not make the lasting change? It's kind of like this hermit crab. I didn't know about this. Somebody gave me this idea, but if you know what a hermit crab is, as it grows, it actually has to leave its shell, get naked with itself, so it can move into a bigger shell. So that's really my theory. Like, why is it that we can't do that for ourselves? What is it that's holding us back? And so I went on this journey to learn from women like you, learn from women like me on the ways that we're hiding and holding ourselves back. So let me give you the high level. This is number one, the high level of what, where, and how. So you might want to write that down, the what we're hiding, where we're doing it, and how we're keeping ourselves there if we're aware of this. My goodness. The what, where, and how. So here's what I learned talking to women like you and me. What is it that we're hiding? Top three things. Hiding our emotions, hiding our bodies, hiding our opinions. Now, usually when I talk to women, some of them are like, I don't hide anything. I don't have a big secret. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in your daily life, where do you choose to hide or hold back just a piece of yourself, that one opinion, that little thing about your body you're not loving, that emotion that you're experiencing? It's common for all of us. And it's kind of silly too, if you think about it, because you probably wouldn't be shocked that I get angry sometimes, that I'm gaining weight around my middle because that's the age I'm in, right? That I have an opinion different than yours, right? Cindy, like nobody would be shocked about this. It's just like humans being humans. And yet we still choose that just small decision every day to keep back an opinion, to keep back a feeling about ourselves and our bodies, an emotion that we're having. So that's the what, and those are the top three. There's certainly a longer list, but in my experience talking to groups like you, is that 1, 2, or all three of those resonate with every single woman in the room, 100% of women in the room. And so that's why I give you the top three. Now that we know what we might be holding back on a daily basis, where are we doing it? Okay, because sometimes we're dialing this up and we're dialing it back, and it's happening on autopilot without us even thinking about it. I just brought it into your consciousness and you can go, oh yeah, I do that. And we're not thinking about it all the time. So there's two big buckets, and I would challenge you to think bigger than that or more than that. So there's work and home. Okay, yeah, of course. But this is the where. Where are we doing it? Think about your home environment. Your spouse, your loved one, your beloved, your kids, the female daughter, the son, the sister, the brother, the parents, the community where you volunteer at maybe church, local chamber. There's a lot of different areas in that personal space of where we might be choosing to hide and hold ourselves back in these ways. Professionally, it can be a lot of different things. It can be the board of directors if you're in a, in that situation, a C-suite role, your peers, the individual above you, the individuals below you, the partnerships, the clients. A lot of different places. And so if you just put all these pieces out on the table like a puzzle and you think about just these 3 areas, opinions, bodies, emotions, and all these different places, wow, now we've got a lot of different touch points. It's starting to get a little bit more complex, a little bit more of a puzzle than maybe we've been able to see before for ourselves. So most of the women I talk to go, aha, yes, that's me. I do that over here. I do that over here. I do that over here. Is that resonating for you? Give me a wave. Yeah, doesn't shock me. So what the what? What the what, right? Like, okay, so sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it. Now Michelle's telling me this and I can look and I go, oh yeah, I'm doing it here and here and here. Well, if we know all this, how are we keeping ourselves there? Especially when we're investing in coaching, we're investing in transformational opportunities, we're getting expansive. Why can't we make the shift? That is the big question. You want to know the answer? Yeah, of course. Kathleen's like, yes, yes, yes. How? So we talked about the what, we talked about the where. How are we doing this? How are we keeping ourselves there? Why do 2 out of 3 women in my research say to me, Michelle, I have a bigger impact to make. I have a voice that I want to put out in the world. I don't feel like my true light is shining. What's next for me? You're too busy. You're too tired. You're working so hard, and it's easier for her because that's how we're doing it. You develop mantras. You tell yourself stories, and you say these things day in and day out and think it's not possible for me. And you choose that. And the reason that it's so difficult is not because it's like, okay, you can see all this, right? But you've been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years, ladies. That is it's the complexity of it. It's the small sliver decision every day for 20 or 30 years that creates this complex pattern that's very difficult for you to see and a very heavy, heavy, thick armor that you just can't unpack for yourself. You can't get out of it. It's heavy. Do you feel that weight for you? Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I learned in my research. And I thought, nobody wants to hear this from me. But when I heard 2 out of 3 women have something more and bigger to give and a voice to put out there, I was like, we're doing this. Here we go. So I want you to take that information. We talked about the research, the what, the where, the how, the high level of what I've learned from women like you and me. And for the next 15 minutes or so, I want to bring you through your own process of unpacking what's next for you, keeping this information in mind. So, okay, take a deep breath. It's a lot. It makes your head spin, you know. It can be a lot to unpack and it gets you twirling. I've had CEOs speechless at the end of sharing this more in depth. So just take that breath, go back to that breath. Let's practice it again. Whatever's stirring up for you. Just feel yourself in your body. And now we're going to move on to number 2. And I want you to just sit with yourself. Don't worry about looking at me or anybody else here, even if you're watching the replay. And I invite you to think about what's next for you? Write it down. Don't be attached to what it is. Some women I talk to, they want a corporate board seat. I do a lot of stuff with C-suite executives. They want a corporate director seat. They want to be the CEO. They want to get the hell out and start their own business like you. Some of the ladies here. They want a promotion. I'm not attached to what it is. It's your what's next, not mine. Write it down. And by the way, if you're one of the women thinking, I don't know, write that down too. You're not alone. What's next for you? Maybe you have 2 or 3 ideas and you're just not clear where to go. And there's one thing I want you to capture here as you're finishing up, getting it on paper. There's one thing I want you to capture, and that is, think about what I shared with you in the research. What's resonating right now? What part of the what, where, and how is resonating most? Were you resonating with all 3, the bodies, emotions, and opinions? Were all of those coming up for you? Or do you see one leading the way right now in your life? Do you see it more in a professional or a personal aspect? I think it's important for you to capture that right now so you can come back to it. Yeah, something just came up energetically I'm feeling in the room, so I'm just going to call it out. This can feel like what we're doing here, beautiful ladies, is we live in an external operating system and we're on autopilot. And what I'm asking of you right now is to move into your space, your heart space. And we've been creating that spaciousness. And now I'm asking you to tap into that. And that can feel constrictive. So if it's not coming naturally, I just want to say this out loud, that's okay. This is not natural. This is me doing this for 47 years, figuring this out. Okay, so we've written down what's next for you, number 2, and just capturing what's resonating of the research for you. Where, how, are you too busy, too tired? It's easier for Michelle because Kathleen's got it way better than you because, yeah. Just, give yourself the gift of capturing that now in a way that will make sense to you when you come back to it. And for me, I always just like to share how it works, my process works. See, now I'm tapping into your energy and I feel this in my body. And so I like to move a little bit, so if you're feeling like, oh, now something just move around, take a breath. We got the issues in the tissues. They got to come out. The breathing helps. Okay, number 3. Here's how I work with people, right? We start at like the top layer of the cake, like the icing, and most of us never really go into the juicy middle layers. And if you watch this back or you're observing it now, you'll see I start you here and then we just keep like easing in. So we're going to go another layer deeper. So just stay with yourself. Don't worry about me. Just listen to my voice. Stay with yourself. Breathe if you need to. And I want you to think about this. This is going to be really important to capture what comes in without judgment. Don't edit yourself. Take the time to really hear the words and the phrases that come to you when I ask you a question. And the question is, and I want 3 to 5 things that are holding you back from really going for it, from really going for it. That warrior energy, that deep, I want this, that's who I am. Didn't mean to make your heart stop there, but pay attention to yourself. What is holding you back from really, really going for it? No one's going to read this but you. 3 to 5 things, a word, a phrase. When you come back and read this, you'll be able to get right back there into that space. And even if you said, I don't know what the heck is next for me, you absolutely know what's clouding you, what's holding you back, the hurdles you're seeing. So don't let yourself off the hook here. How do you see yourself being held back right now? And just as you're wrapping up, I can't see Cindy or Carol. I know they're still with us. As you think you've got it all down on paper, I have one more question under number 3. Okay. Listen to the words. Pay attention to what comes in for you. What else didn't you write down? There's always that layer of armor keeping us from really wanting to see. So what else? I see a few people wrapping up. You've got it there. It's all for you to come back to. So we're going to move on to number 4. Take a look at number 2 and 3. So take a look at number 2 and 3. We're thinking about what's next for you, ways that you've been hiding and holding yourself back. This one's going to take a little thought. See if anything comes in. Can you see a pattern? Can you see a pattern of where else this has shown up? So it's, can you see a pattern and or, right? Where else has this shown up? So think about it. You're too busy to getting all the things done at work, too busy to request that time to sit down with your boss or manager or the individual who can help you get what's next for you. You're too tired, doing all the things to express what you need from the loved ones in your life, the people that you live with and engage with on a daily basis. If that's the pattern that you're seeing right now that's keeping you from what's next, where else has this shown up in your life? I see some eyes thinking, that's what I do. I look up, I kind of look around, right? This one's a little more challenging, and this is a great homework item to come back to. So if it's not like landing and you need to noodle on it, sometimes like things come to me in the shower, or you'll be driving home, or you're going for a walk after this, and then it'll just land for you. That's how it works for me. So maybe you just want to write down the question too, so you can come back to it. And the question was, can you see a pattern and or, so can you see a pattern and or where else has this shown up? I see a few people getting it down. Okay. So number one, we talked about the research. We talked about the what, where, and how we hide and hold ourselves back. We do this on a regular basis for years and years and years. It creates very thick armor that makes it difficult to see. Okay. I invited you to think about and document what's next for you and some of the parts of the research that are resonating for you in number two. Number three, 3 to 5 ways that you see that you're holding yourself back from going for it, words and phrases that really resonate. And number 4, can you see a pattern? Where else has this shown up? That's the deeper dive. That's getting into the inner part of the cake. Takes a little time. And as we're coming to a close, number 5, I have an exercise for you. We're going to use all the things we've learned so far. So at least I'm consistent here. So I want you to settle back into yourself. Settle back. Okay. Close your eyes. Find the point on the ceiling, on the floor. Look at your paper. Move your body if you need to, and just listen to my voice. As your eyes are closed, I want you to see a picture of yourself. Your bright, brilliant, beautiful, and magical self. Radiating, energized, clear, confident. Take a look, take a good look at her in the eyes and let her look at you in the eyes back. Feel the energy and positivity. And keep listening to my voice and keep the image of yourself in your mind. And I'm going to ask you one question. And it's really important that you don't let your mind take over, but let your heart lead as you look into your own eyes. Feel the energy, see the vibrancy, feel the light, see the light, and answer the question, what's the one next step for you? Write it down, don't edit. What's the one next best step for you? Write it down, don't edit yourself. Let it flow, see yourself. What's the one next best step for you? Take your time, and when you're ready, I will know because I will see you. I will see your eyes. There's no rush. Take your time. Capture what's the one next best step for you. For you, no one else, for you. And give me a big smile, a thumbs up, a clap, a message in the chat. Anything works for me. A wave when you're ready to go. Excellent. And we'll give Carol a minute or two more. Oh, thumbs up from Carol. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you.
Wow. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm just curious for each of you, how was that experience for you? Feel free, take yourself off mute and just jump right in. How was that experience for you? What was an insight that you had for yourself that you'd like to share?
Well, this is LaTanya. I thought it was very soothing. Great exercise for the end of the day because I am exhausted. Yesterday was a doozy. I left the house at 10 a.m. It was just nonstop with business after business, task after task, between business, phone calls, family, husband, child, exercising. And it's just, the hurdles is just not enough time in the day It's just the time and the capacity. So it's not enough time to do everything, and then just not having enough people resources to help kind of carry out those tasks, because, you know, as women, we're just doing it all. And, it's always like the, adage goes, if you want to go far, you can't go it alone. But it's just so hard. Because even when you bring on, just for your business, for example, when you bring on people resources, it's then another big task to train, support, and mentor your staff to help them get up to speed, to train and do. That's a big task. It's another big task, the interview in recruiting. And that's my wheelhouse. And you all know it, just whether you're a business owner or you work, on the corporate side, it's just time.
Yeah.
And people resources. So thank you for just, allowing and reminding us how we need to just kind of sit still for a moment and just reflect. And that was it was really good. Thank you for that.
I hope too, Latanya. I mean, I feel you and I really see you. And we can't change that, but we can change inside. And I hope that you experience that shift in just a little moment, right? Just a few moments.
Absolutely, I did. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, today was a better day overall than yesterday, but it was still nonstop. Just, again, taking care, toggling between business, work, and family issues and things going on. And I mean, that's just our everyday life, but just why does it have to be like that for women?
Yeah.
But it is, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you, Latanya, and I so agree. And I think I remind myself, what can I just do today? So, Michelle, this was such a great opportunity to just take a pause and really stop and think, what's next for me?
Yeah.
Instead of putting myself on autopilot, which is an easy, familiar place that I go. I get into my doing mode. Latanya, you're a big doer, Carol, you're a big doer, to just take a moment, breathe, and just take a moment to say, hey, what's next for me? What could be holding me back? All of your great questions, Michelle. What are the patterns? And what is just the best next step? So I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Good. Carol, any insights, feedback from you as well before we conclude our program?
Oh, I just thought it was so heart-centered, and I really appreciated the space to look inward and to just take that time, because we are so busy and we don't do that. It's so easy not to do that. Thank you.
Yeah. That reminded me to add something. I said it, and I want to say it one more time, is that this is what I truly believe, is that we're living in this external operating system. It's a reward system, and we're on that train every day. More and better and work and busy and time. It's hard. It really literally is hard to pull, like you have to physically, I feel like I want to physically pull ourselves out of that because it's all around us. But the truth is that if we, and it sounds so simple, but it's not easy. If we can just pull ourselves out of it, even just using the breathing exercise. I have my clients do that 9 times in a row. It doesn't take that much time, but what it does is it gives you the spaciousness to tap back into the power inside of you. So that's where all the answers are. I'm convinced you're all brilliant. All my clients are brilliant. They don't really need all of this. They need to hear this. And it just sounds too simple to actually breathe or meditate or pause, right? It just sounds too simple. And it's like a magnet to pull yourself out of the system going on out there. So I just want you to hear that loud and clear, that you literally have the power inside of you. You know what's next for you. You know. There's just so much going on that it's very difficult to hear, and it's very difficult to create that spaciousness to hear. And so if that's you, I see you and I hear you.
Right. Michelle, such great points. And, what I know for sure is you're modeling for all of us as well is we don't have to do it all today, but what's the one next step that we could take today? And, LaTanya, I also would love, I acknowledge you because look at this rich, gorgeous life you have. Carol, your rich, gorgeous life. I mean, all the things that you're saying, it's like, well, that's when you're sharing, I'm thinking, this sounds pretty good to me. The workout, your family, the kids, your great business. These are all, and I'm not downplaying what you're saying, but I'm thinking, wow, sounds pretty good. Sounds like a lot of abundance going on over there.
It definitely is. But you have to work to keep those things up and in line. In alignment.
Right on.
And so it requires a lot.
Yes, it does. You're exactly
we
correct.
require, as individuals, we require a lot of that, and it then, requires a lot of us.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you. Let's conclude our program. Michelle, thank you so much. Really loved everything that you shared. Beautiful. And we're so excited for each of you watching the replay. We know you got a lot out of your time with us today. So let me go ahead and just finalize our program. And so thank you again. It was awesome. And this is the time in our Women's Coaching and Consulting Council where I'd love to welcome our new esteemed faculty members, Nancy Geary, Kathy Dirksen, Linda Conyard, Michelle McGlade, of course, LaTanya Pouncey. We're so glad you're here as well. And you're our newest esteemed faculty, Trisha Bright. And we can't wait for your program. So we're going to be planning those programs out as well. And our newest esteemed faculty member, Gloria St. Martin Lowry, a very powerful corporate consultant who's going to bring a lot to our council. So we're so glad that each of you are here. And, our mantra is always have exciting, excellent things and programs to invite people to. So just offering some opportunities. Saturday morning, we've got a Saturday morning Women's Success Circle. Oh my gosh, this is going so beautifully. We've got women from all over the world. Last week, we had a woman from Berlin. We had Australia, California, Canada, all over the United States. So we're coming together in a success circle, no PowerPoint slides, no Zoom recording, no hair and makeup needed. And we have a topic every Saturday morning, and it's really, really excellent. So come and join us for topics. Last week's topic was motivation, how to stay motivated. So every Saturday, new topic. And of course, the fourth Tuesday of every month at 4 p.m. Eastern is our esteemed faculty member and founding member. And you're all founding members. If you're esteemed faculty, we're going to be doing a membership drive very, very soon. We have our quick reconnect. So it's the fourth Tuesday of every month, 4 p.m. Eastern, no registration needed, 30 minutes, quick reconnect, 30 minutes. Love to invite you to that. We update you on all of the newest developments within our council and within C-Suite Network. And then finally, our program on C-Suite Network Council Day, which is the first Thursday of every month. I need my own, I've got my own system here to keep track of all these dates, is we're going to be talking about, we're going to have our panel of esteemed faculty members who are doing business in corporate. Part of it is how to break into corporate coaching and consulting. So we're going to be talking about how to do that. Our faculty members are going to tell it to us straight. What are the pros, the cons, how to get in, how to establish yourself within corporate associations and corporate coaching and consulting, how to get in, stay in, and thrive as a corporate coach and consultant. So that's Thursday, August 4th at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a very powerful program. Okay, so as we complete, Michelle McGlade, you helped us shine our powerful light, and we so thank you for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's our opportunity. I don't want to say it's our obligation, but it is certainly our opportunity to shine our powerful light. The world needs us to, no doubt about it. So if you're watching the replay, come join us in the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. We want you. We want to promote you, showcase you, highlight you, and the important work you're doing in the world. So come join us in our council. And how you do that is schedule a one-on-one with me. We can talk through the council, talk through how we can support you. So it's calendly.com, Kathleen Caldwell, very, very simple. And with that, big thanks and big heartfelt appreciation to you, Michelle, on a wonderful program, powerfully choosing what's next for you. We got it. So with that, enjoy your day. Thank you, Michelle. Beautiful program. Let's take ourselves off mute and say goodbye for now. Big hugs and kisses. Mwah. Bye, Michelle. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye. Thank you.